Welcome everyone back to a new episode of the No Name Podcast. I'm your host for this week, Manny, joined with my co-host with it's Ricky. This is my co-host Ricky. Um it's a long day. It's a long day. But Ricky, how you been?
What were you trying to do? Co-host with what? Most or something?
I don't know. I was gonna say something. I can't remember what I was gonna say. Probably with the most.
Should just stuck the landing with it.
Yeah, but I couldn't remember what to say.
You good? You good though? Before we get into me,
It's
I mean, it's like
it's it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a day.
I was gonna say, what are you talking about? We've only been gone. We've only been gone for a week.
No, it's been a day. It's been a day. Quite a day.
Other than that, I mean, it's been good. It's been fun. It's been outside of before we didn't do last week's episode and everything. It was one of those most I wouldn't say stressful but interesting weeks for me on sports wise. This week is a little more exciting. This time as for that stuff. A few things. Battlefield open beta begins the day this comes out for early access.
Oh, oh.
And everything. Few tidbit for those who happens to watch this the same day. It's released. It's early access, meaning today and Thursday. If you pre-ordered the game, you can play it those days, and it's open for everybody the rest of the weekend. What they
Hmm.
didn't, what they haven't said, and thankfully Xbox mentioned this on all that stuff on Twitter. If you happen to be an EA Play subscriber, whether it be on Xbox, PlayStation, or even PC, you also get early access to the beta
Ah,
and all that stuff.
I see.
So if you happen to be watching this on Wednesday, even Thursday maybe, or listening to this on those 2 days during the early access, you happen to have EA Play on on either of those three platforms and haven't pre-ordered the game, you can play the beta
Oh,
and all that stuff. I already have it downloaded, ready for Wednesday and all that stuff for ready for today technically. Um, and we're about to have it's gonna be a good weekend. We got that new zombie map for Cold War on Thursday. We're probably doing the I don't know yet. The plan is that for me with me and Arturo. I think Thursday we're probably gonna play it just to get the idea of what the map looks like, and then Friday most likely we're gonna do the Easter egg because that's when it goes live on Friday. The Easter.
all right. Then I'll for sure play with you guys Friday.
I figured you would. Um,
Yep. Yep.
and of everything. Leave the hard work to me,
Yeah.
Arturo, and all that stuff.
Yep. Yep. I
Um,
mean, do I really do any hard work even when I do the hard work?
my point exactly. That's why I'm saying it. And all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
A good teammate, even though he doesn't do much out of
Yeah.
when we do the Easter eggs, should still come just to scout and get an idea of what the land looks like
Yeah. Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Oh,
please don't.
podcast news. Podcast news. Ta-da-da, ta-da-da,
I love the fact
ta-da-da.
that I haven't
Like in
finished.
the
I like the fact that
like.
like he does that while I'm not even finished yet.
Yep. 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 I got to switch.
That's not podcasting. You make it. Um,
Yeah, 'cause I remember we had left them off like a long time ago with saying I was gonna get one,
and you
like
say it.
during the pandemic.
You say that now. Like, oh my gosh. Uh, great. Now I lost my train of thought. James Bond. Friday.
Yeah, there you go.
James Bond on Friday, which is going to be exciting to finally
It
see.
is.
Great movie. Speaking of which, might as well just say this now. Are you work Friday?
Yep. Yep. I do work the Friday.
I gotta wait. Now I gotta wait till you get.
Yes, you do. Well, actually, I gotta wait till you. Oh no, you don't have that day off. You have the day off, huh?
I'm work. I'm. That's why I'm asked. That's why I asked if you're not if you're not working the Friday.
Yeah, yeah. Cause I get off
Oh
before
wait,
you.
no. I'm not working
Yeah.
at all.
Oh,
Today.
okay. Then you get off way before me.
Yeah, that's so. Damn. No, wait. We can't even do it Friday because Friday night is Easter egg.
Oh yeah. Well, we can do it like Friday afternoon ish and then do the Easter egg at night.
So here's the question: are we seeing this in Dolby?
Yeah,
Okay, let's.
yeah,
Well, okay. So, okay, but anyways, of course,
yeah. After the podcast.
James Bond. No, I'm gonna look during. Well, but I'm just gonna finish my spiel real quick. Um,
Oh, okay.
that of course, James Bond this weekend, very exciting. Like I said, the beta for Battlefield, exciting. Cold War, new season, zombie map. Maybe Verdansk might have an actual change to its map. That's not an 80s overlay
Oh, oh, cool.
and everything. Maybe, who knows? We don't know yet. We don't know yet. We'll find out. I think yeah, Thursday for sure. Thursdays for sure. Because that's the day the new season starts and all that stuff. I don't think they'll do it Wednesday night tonight. There was one mention, but I forgot what it was. Um, what was it? 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 Oh yeah, duh, because it just happened today. As the day we're graduating. I mean, they were graduating. The day where
I'm graduating again.
sorry, there's a text popped up on my phone and that mentioned the word. Add the word in there. Um, it just happened today as the day we're recording. Sora's coming to Smash Brothers. Sora from Kingdom Hearts is coming to Smash Brothers. I'm very excited for that
I seen that. Yeah.
and everything.
Is he gonna have his key?
October,
That'd
yeah,
be
of
cool.
course,
That's cool.
of
That's cool.
course. This is how you know Manny doesn't pay attention to anything that me and I talk about or all that stuff. Though there was no video post, I didn't upload the video. I didn't put the video in our group chat. He doesn't bother to look.
I looked at it and I was like, oh, cool. And then, you know,
When of
went
course,
back to the TikTok.
when of course though, of course he's gonna have his Keyblade. Why wouldn't he not?
Yeah. Well, maybe it's like a special ability. You know,
No.
like maybe only when he gets the blue orb of destiny. That
Blue Orb of Destiny. What the?
Yeah, you know when you're playing the Smash Bros. Not the Smash, but yeah, and and then you get the blue orb of destiny comes down, you break it, and then you get a special ability that kills everybody.
You call it the Blue Orb of Destiny?
Yeah, I think that sounds cool.
I think I don't know. 4 p.m. Friday. Um,
Huh?
I'm just dropping Friday for Bond.
Oh, okay.
Um, the what was I say? Yeah, so I'm excited. October 18th is when he'll be released and everything. If you already have the Fighter Pass Volume 2, it's already available to you. If not, it's gonna be $6 to get them. All that stuff.
Cool.
And all that stuff. So that's exciting and all that stuff. I think I've watched that trailer like maybe 5 times today.
Oh.
Yeah, excited. And that music, that Kingdom Hearts music, I swear, for that game, that is definitely not the song.
That's the only uh, game song I can think of right now.
That's because that's the only game you've been playing on your Switch.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
Not true. No, actually not true. I'm playing Monster Jam.
my point exactly. The only game you're playing is Zelda.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's cool. It's cool. I named my horse, so that's kind of cool.
um, uh, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much what's exciting, what's coming, what's going stuff. I mean, we have other stuff that happened, and talk about that at the end. Oy.
Yep, yep. A
I,
lot of interesting stuff this episode.
I tell
Uh,
you, when I got off that get out that movie theater, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Amazing, huh? It was that good.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think you thought it was that good, man. You know, I didn't really think that, but me, you know, teach his own. Teach his own. So, moving forward, uh, keeping with the movie theater theme, if we will, an animated,
I love the fact you just
uh,
skipped over the other stuff that I didn't get to talk about because it's
uh,
part of the top.
So the Giants, uh, they made postseason.
He brings the
Um,
wrong. He brings up the wrong team too.
as of the day this recording releases, we are getting ready to see the Dodgers take on the Cardinals. See who goes on to play the Giants, and neither of those teams are Ricky's team. Ricky's gonna talk about whatever happened because I don't watch baseball that much because I'm a Pirates fan.
well,
So
because
Ricky,
I had
take
some.
it.
So as of last week, before we didn't end up recording do this stuff and all that stuff, it was a stressful week in sports for me. Why? Two things. Uh, well, two things. The A's were still at the time of last week should have been recording and all that stuff. A's were still in contention to make playoffs. Is it mathematically impossible? Yes. Was I still hopeful? Yes. Um, and all that stuff. But at the same time, that Sunday before and all that stuff, Raiders game played. We played the Dolphins that day. Um, Dolphins played way better than they usually do. With their quarterback that was playing since Tua was hurt. I was nervous most of that game. But we end up winning it in
Hey,
overtime. And then, but at the same time, going into that weekend, also the A's were playing the Astros, and we had just got swept by the Mariners and all that stuff, and we were like 6 games out of the wild card, if I remember correctly, a little bit more. We swept the Astros. Yeah. After we swept the Astros the weekend, then we were 6 games out. Or 4 games out. We were 4 games out of the of getting into the wild card game. We literally just needed to lose. We didn't have to lose. We didn't. We just literally have to win our games, and then everything else hopefully falls into place for us to making it. That didn't happen because we lost to the We almost got swept by the Mariners. We lost 2 straight. I think that Wednesday, I confirmed. That's when I was like, "We're out. We're not making it. We're not making playoffs and all that stuff." And that was the most stressful week. Because what was funny about it, I ended up wearing my Ace jersey that weekend, and they won all their games. I was like, I guess I gotta keep wearing my thing. And what was also funny about it, like the Sunday game, because that was the A's and the Raiders game. So I wore my A's game during the day, and then wore my Raiders game the rest of the day, and they end up both winning still. I was like, okay, I guess I'm stuck doing this then, this kind of thing. Um, and I had my A's jersey on the day we were supposed to record, but that ended up happening, and then both. So I was just like, oh, God.
you wore the same exact outfit you wore the day they won. Pants, underwear,
No,
shoes,
I just
socks.
wore the jersey, my jersey. I changed my
Oh well,
out.
that's why.
I wasn't wearing. No,
That's why.
even like when they swept the Astros, I think the Friday I had pants, Saturday I had shorts and all that
Oh,
stuff or sweats, and Sunday I had pants on. So it's like all that stuff. So it's like the bottom area was didn't care. I just wore the jersey.
the bottom area didn't care.
All that, and all that stuff. And I think when I wore the jersey, when I switched to my Raider jersey, I think I put on my shorts on, and we won that game
Mm.
last week. I mean, we lost yesterday, but still, all that stuff. Um, um, lost Monday night. Almost could have won that game. All that stuff. Defense put defense got tired out towards the and everything like that. And then like because like the thing is about this year, um, like this season I've been paying a lot more to like college football and pro football and everything. This year season and all that stuff. And I have to say, like college football has been a very interesting year. Has been interesting so far. I'll say that.
It has.
And all that stuff.
No cojones.
Manny, I'm gonna say this now, and I'm gonna say this. Like, I'm gonna get this out the way because I knew Manny was and all that stuff. Just because you're 4-1 doesn't mean you're one of the best teams in it. I mean, you're ranked. Don't get me wrong, and all that stuff. You play Oklahoma this weekend. That game is what's gonna prove it if you're really legit.
Yep.
and all that
Yep.
stuff. You're playing and all that stuff because how could you lose to an SEC team who just got shut out just this past weekend by Georgia
Yeah.
and all that stuff? So that already that right there is like I don't know if I can trust this team. This seems legit.
No, we were feeling a little off that game. That's why.
No, you
The
weren't.
altitude was a little weird,
And
and the
Arkansas,
humidity in the air was a
Arkansas,
little kind of, yeah. It was
Arkansas,
rough playing conditions. It was bad
Arkansas,
playing conditions. I
Arkansas,
don't think the field was good. Nah, the field
Arkansas,
wasn't good.
Arkansas. Which also, by the way, at that time it was considered one of the worst teams in the SEC and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's because they had bad playing conditions.
See,
Um,
nope. See, this
the
is
air was off.
of
The
course
air was off.
typical Texas fan
The
making
air,
excuses. Typical Texas fan making excuses and all that stuff. Doesn't
the
say
air
he
was off.
like he doesn't. He's not rooting for the fact right now that they're 4-1 currently and all that stuff. He's just making excuses for the one loss they got and all that stuff and everything like
Yeah,
that. Even
yeah.
though they're
Because
four
it
and
could have been
one,
perfect.
generally ranked,
Could have been
and all that
perfect.
and all that
It could have
stuff.
been perfect.
Oh my
But
gosh, this guy.
yep. The air was not that. It was not good play. Football conditions. That's what it was. It was not good.
That's a lie. That is definitely that stuff. You what? You beat TCU last week. Oh, by
Yes, we did.
by 5 points.
We still beat 'em.
Don't care. Don't care. By five.
Yes.
You won
Yeah.
by 5.
Yep. She
You
ain't
win by
first, you
5.
last.
How do you win against Texas Tech and Rice by big margins and all that stuff? Lose to who was considered the worst team in the SEC at the time and all that stuff by 19 points, and then um, nearly win a close one to TCU.
That's because we like to play with their minds. We like to
No,
get in our. Yep. We like to get in the minds of our next opponent.
no,
That's what
no,
it is.
no.
So that they walk in thinking we're garbage, and then all of a sudden we turn the burners on.
Yeah, you almost lost that
Mind
game.
games. It's mind games.
Let's
No,
just
it's mind games.
you could have lost
It's
that
mind
game.
games.
You could have lost that game.
Nah, nah. We knew what we were doing. We knew what
Probably could have.
we were doing. Sarkis in you.
Huh?
Sarks knew. Sarks knew.
And then and then what's crazy now? What's even crazy? You have back-to-back games against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State.
Exactly.
You know,
The
that stuff.
cards are stacked against us.
You know, that stuff. That is your literally your test. That is your test right there. See if this team's
They're
legit.
against us.
Against you haven't even proved anything in the last I don't know how many years since Vince Young. That's what I'm gonna
That's
say.
because
Since
that's
Vince
because they're
Young
against us. Yes.
and all that stuff
You know,
and everything.
Longhorns versus the world. Longhorns versus the world.
There's never was a Longhorns versus the world.
Now there is.
That to this doesn't count. This does not count on stuff
Yeah.
whatsoever because literally the fact that it's like you just need to prove the fact that we can.
Nah, we will.
Are you making playoffs? I don't think so.
Now we're gonna prove that we're a playoff team in the future.
Hey. I don't know about
These
that.
are
I
just
mean,
the,
I
these are
don't know
the
about I
these are
don't know
the
that.
seeds.
You're in the Big 12.
These,
You're moving to you're about to move to the SEC. We'll see what happens.
yeah, we're just
And
planting
your
the seeds
and your test
to grow.
you had you had an opportunity to prove yourself in the against an SEC opponent and that didn't work out.
Again, bad football conditions. Bad
Oh
football
my
conditions.
gosh. I swear, if I hear this every game, if I hear that from you every game you play against an SEC team, I'm gonna be like,
Because the SEC doesn't monitor their football conditions.
yeah,
They have.
tell that to Alabama and Georgia.
And I don't speak to Alabama fans.
That stuff. Like tell it to teams that have actually that tell it to a team that's won a national title.
That's because the cards are in their favor.
Oh, they're just really good at recruiting. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like I'm just like, oh, and then also I mean like basketball season. exciting times.
That's true. That's true.
Awesome.
Dallas all the way. Dallas all the way.
I'm
What?
never I'm never every time we bring up Dallas, I'm just yeah, honesty.
Yes, that it kind of did.
Not in the right way. Not in the right way. Let's move on. We got a lot to talk about.
I really did though. I know who Dirk is. I know who the owner is. Shark Tank.
Everybody knows who the
Uh,
owner is. You can't use that one in all honesty.
no, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'll give that one to you. I'll give that one to you. Okay. Anyways, back to movies. Like I said, um, so there's a certain movie, uh, animated movie coming out. The Mario movie. No, not the good one. Not the memorable childhood movie
Oh my
we all know and love. This is a new one. This is a new adaptation. It is animated. Um, has some casting. The film is going to star Chris Pratt and Anna Taylor Joy. All right, including Jack Black, Keegan Michael Key, Seth Rogen, and many more. Um, joining Pratt, Chris Pratt's going to be Mario.
Okay, there we go.
Anna Taylor Joy will be yeah. Anna Taylor Joy will be Princess Peach. Charlie Day is Luigi. Jack Black is Bowser. Awesome. Keegan Michael Key's Toad. I don't know. I'm interested. I wonder how that's gonna fit. It's gonna be interesting though. Seth Rogen's gonna be Donkey Kong. Fred Armisian's gonna be Cranky Kong. Kevin Michael Richardson is gonna be Kamek, and Sebastian Maniscalco is gonna be Spike. I don't know who Spike is, but it sounds cool. I don't know who Kamek is either, but they sound like they're cool names. So it's gotta be cool.
If I remember correctly,
Um,
Kamek and Spike are more related to another Nintendo property, but having it, but they relate to like Mario more and all that stuff because like and all that stuff because the fact that like originally before the casting got announced, I didn't even know Donkey Kong was going to be in the movie himself along with Cranky Kong until they announced that and all that stuff. But it made sense for the fact because Donkey Kong does there's a game particularly that has Mario in it with Donkey Kong like back in the old school
yeah, it's
days.
called Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, this movie seems cool. Don't know what it's about.
I like you say it seems
Uh,
cool, and then it's like I don't know what it's about. I'm like,
well, I mean, Chris Pratt, Jack Black, and Keegan Michael Key, they're pretty dope actors. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Sounds like it's gonna be hilarious. I don't really know the other ones too much, so I can't really say. But it sounds like it's gonna be hilarious and awesome. Um, I'm excited. I'm excited. I want to see what Donkey Kong's gonna look like. I like Donkey Kong. Um, I like his cousin. You know the one with the bandana and the tank top. What's his name?
I don't know what he's gonna look like.
Well, yeah, like if it's gonna be like more realistic animation or more, you know, 2D animation or the animation style, not the actual character. I don't know what the characters are gonna look like. I'm saying like as in the animation style.
Okay,
I don't know how that's gonna
I was like, what are you
yeah.
talking about? I don't know what's gonna look like. It's animation. I think it's like even no matter what type. I think it's like it's gonna like somewhat. It is gonna relate to like the game models themselves based off their current stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was like because I was like, "Wait, what is he talking about? I don't know what it's gonna look like. Of course, we have an idea what it's gonna look like. We just don't know what.
Yeah, we have an idea, but we don't know about. It looks interesting. It looks cool. Sounds cool. I'm interested. Has my attention. Um, can't wait for the trailer. Um, or teasers, or can't wait for more in general. Speaking of trailers, um, there was a little trailer that got released. I'm not sure when exactly. But I saw it today. It's called Game of Thrones, the 200-year prior sequel, uh, has Matt Smith in it.
It
Has
literally,
Matt Smith.
it literally came out today.
Oh, it came out today. Okay, so it did come out today as a recording, which is a Tuesday. Uh, looks awesome. Looks interesting. Looks cool. Hope to see more dragons. Uh, I'm excited to see the Targaryen lineage. Uh, and the whole Targaryen the civil war between them. Uh, excited and I can't wait for it. It's gonna be a 10 episode series on the HBO Max, starting spring
It just
or
said
fall.
2022.
I know. I remember hearing what it was. Some article. Anyways, it's starting next year. Uh, in some part of the year. It's gonna be on HBO Max, like I said. I don't know if it's gonna come out episodical or if it's gonna come out all at once.
It's HBO. It's gonna come out.
Okay, so it's gonna come out episodical. Can't wait for that. Cool. It's gonna be awesome. And the Iron Throne looks awesome. Looks more book related, so that's kind of cool. It's like a medium between the two. Um, sounds awesome. I'm excited. What about you, Ricky?
Oh, um, I literally saw it before we started recording. I'll tell you this because, like, the funny part was like before we got on the call and everything, I was on YouTube looking at something and I saw a I saw it brought up and I was like, I'm gonna watch this. I'll probably watch this in a bit and all that stuff. And in the back of my head, I was thinking, watch somehow it just ends up being well, and I don't end up watching this. I didn't end up watching it because ended up doing something. And then when I get into our Discord call and I get our topics put up, look at double check our topics. I noticed it was in there. I was like, okay, pop up YouTube, start watching it and everything like that while getting everything going. Um, I don't like. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I knew about this show. Like the day this trailer came out, I was like, I completely like dawned on me. I was like, oh yeah, this is a thing. Um, and that's only for the fact because Game of Thrones like hurt me at the end and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm not gonna say like I forgot about it after that. Like I knew about the show because it got announced before Game of Thrones ended. Um, but I just didn't pay attention to it after that as much and all that stuff and everything. And I didn't even know like filming had started. I knew there was some casting and all that stuff, but I was just not gonna trip about it. Really, I was like, when it comes, it comes. And lo and behold, trailer came out today, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a thing. Um, I'll probably end up watching it just to get an idea since it is set before the events of the show. Um, yeah, it's before the show. Learn about more about House Targaryen and more and all that stuff. But I'm interested in seeing what we see. Because I know it says 200 years, but there probably is like some characters that we have that's probably from the original show that'll probably end up here like a younger state and all that stuff. Um, who I don't know for sure because and all that stuff because I can't remember most of the people from the original show right now. I'll probably actually end up just watching that again just to get
You're gonna
fresh
watch
character.
all of them?
There's no actual. It comes out next year. We don't have an official date. I have time and all that stuff. They're only what 10 episodes a season.
Yeah, but they're like an hour each.
Oh,
It's a lot.
it's like you don't know. It's like I've binged stuff like that. I've binged longer stuff and all that, so it's no big deal and everything.
But you
So
can't watch Grimm.
I can't watch what.
I was like, but you can't watch Grimm.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like Grimm doesn't. grab me as I thought it would. Especially trying to do it, it's like it doesn't. It's not that it never did when the show was on TV and all that stuff. And it's nothing against it. Like I don't. It's not like I don't like. It's not that I hate it. I don't think it's a bad thing. It just doesn't grab. Just didn't grab me of wanting to watch it. I mean, man, I can attest. Manny has so many times, and I mean so many times, trying to get me to do it, to watch it. And it's like, and normally I'm not that kind of guy. I'm that kind of guy that's like, if you keep bugging me about it, I'm not gonna do it kind of person and all that stuff. But I was willing to do it because of what it's about and all that stuff. But every time it's just like I don't get the urge doesn't come into like wanting to watch it. Even now and all that stuff. Like how Manny just brought it up. I was like, yeah, that's all right. That's a show. But for some reason I don't it doesn't make me like I'm gonna watch it right after we get done recording and all that stuff. Like it's not happening. And all that stuff. Like and the difference with this is like I mean I like Game of Thrones and all that stuff. I like the show before what happened at the last season of it and everything. Um and learning more about this stuff is kind of interesting and maybe watching the show again will probably remind me of certain things and all that stuff that's or like even though like I said it's a prequel, but at the same time it's like there's probably characters that are from the original show that'll probably pop up on here as younger, very young. Um Also because this is a fantasy. A lot of people can live long. Um and everything. I do wonder because it is the first season, and stuff. Is it's like it's supposed to be it's one season. So far we don't know if there's gonna be a second one. We don't know much about the story. It's supposed to probably be a series, maybe like more seasons. Hopefully, we don't know. I just hope it does well. That's all it does too, and all that stuff because people are gonna people are gonna be like, yeah, this happened. Game of Thrones happened. Last season happened. I don't know if I want to watch this and all that stuff. I'm willing to give it a shot and everything because it's more of a prequel than it is something after the show.
Yeah, it's like getting together with your toxic ex girlfriend's sister. You know what I mean? It's like something new but the same.
No, not really. Not at all. Not at all.
That was pretty accurate.
No, no. Like how? Like no. Toxic. If a toxic ex girlfriend is, if you're like, that's not saying. Uh, you're comparing Game of Thrones to something that's to a toxic ex girlfriend. Game of Thrones was not like a bad show. It just had one. The how it ended just sucked and all that stuff. That's it.
Then you have a bad relationship and
It's
you have a bad breakup with the girl. How
I
about
wouldn't
that?
even
You have a bad breakup with the girl,
I wouldn't even
and then you
call
end
it
up
a
dating her twin sister.
I wouldn't even no, I wouldn't even call it that.
I'd call it a bad breakup.
I don't call it a bad breakup. It's just it didn't end correctly. It wasn't I you don't call it a bad breakup. It's just more the fact that it didn't end well for each for two people. And they went and all that stuff.
What do you call that then?
Huh? I don't know what you call two people
then
that ended up on it's not you wouldn't even call it a bad terms. It's just like it just something went wrong and all that stuff. Like that's why it's like I wouldn't even compare it as a relation in a relationship in all means. I'm just saying and all that stuff. For me, it's like you're the one that's trying to put a relationship analogy to it and all that stuff. I'm just like I would still love the show before the what ended and all that stuff, which is gives me the reason to still want to watch this prequel series. You're over here be like toxic ex girlfriend trying to get I'm like what
yeah,
thing? It's
I
like
mean, it's
it's
not
next.
all the episodes were awesome either from like all the seasons.
I mean that's your opinion and everything.
Yeah, I was just misstating my opinion. That wasn't
No.
really
No,
anything
that's what
else.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like that's your opinion of it and all that stuff. I'm just saying for me and all that stuff. Like I enjoyed it. I had a good time with the show and all that stuff because I think I jumped in like season 3. I want to say like I watched 1 and 2, and then 3 was think was just about to start, or if it was like already starting. Um, and I enjoyed everything I like about the show, all that stuff.
Good. I jumped in season 5.
Well, that's your mistake.
That's because everyone was like, "Oh, OMG, this is such a good show." And I was like, "What's it about?" They were like, "It's about like killing people and like incest and dragons and fire."
Yeah, get the least common stuff. That makes it a more big deal. So
That's what they told me, dude. I'm legit quoting them, dude. It just doesn't sound like
people
it because my voice.
people dying in incest. Yeah, okay.
That's what they told me. And I was like, it don't sound that good. They're like, nah, it's really good, dude. They're like on season 5 coming soon. And I was like, all right, I'll try it then. They got 5 seasons. 'Cause the Flash wasn't out yet, so like at that time, or I didn't watch the Flash yet,
I was gonna say,
so
I
I
was
didn't
like,
know that
I don't know about
like
that now.
even so like I didn't know that even if you got multiple seasons, like it back then I thought if you got multiple seasons that means because the show's good. And then I watched the Flash, but
Yeah, man, he's not very well. I'm not gonna say very well. I don't want to say not very well. Television
no,
behind the
no,
scenes, way behind the scenes.
yeah. I mean, it only makes sense. Like,
Obviously,
oh, your show's good. I'm gonna give you more. Oh, your
no, no, no,
show
no,
sucks. I'm gonna stop it.
no, 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 no. It's you can have a bad show but still get multiple seasons because it provides the show ratings. It's the fact that people you and all that stuff. It like yeah, there is a section of people that hate the show for what it provides and what it tells and all that stuff. But the network doesn't look at the people who makes the show, like the people that run shows that pluff. See the CBS's, the Fox, NBC's, HBO even,
The CWs.
and CW's for lack of a better term, say. Um, they don't pay attention to that. They pay attention to the fact that how their show is being watched by this so many people and all that stuff, regardless of opinion of what they think of it. Which is
Then why
why
do we have Rotten Tomatoes?
why do we why do we have Rotten Tomatoes?
I feel like we're not using Rotten Tomatoes enough.
No,
It needs to be.
no one used Rotten Tomatoes correctly.
So the more tomatoes, the better it is, right?
See, I don't even use that in general. I don't even use that. Like
No, I know, but if it
what
has a higher percentage of Rotten Tomatoes, the better it is, correct?
it depends on the thing. Because there's for Rotten Tomatoes in particularly, uh because it's more of like it's not more it's more of like because you have like the tomato meter, which just gives you overall reviews are based off what it is, and there's like the audience score. The tomato meter is more based off critics and all that stuff, people who actually talk about this stuff and everything like that. They get paid to do it and everything.
Oh,
How else the audience score is from actual people that from the audience themselves and all that stuff, like me and you, and all that stuff and everything. There is a chance where you can have a tomato meter that's certified fresh, and that's like hitting like 80% or higher, if I remember correctly, or 75% or higher. I forget how you become certified fresh, but you can have a audience score of 40 and all that stuff, or it's vice versa. You can have a freaking tomato meter rating of 70 something, and then you have a audience score of 80 and all that stuff because it's that's just how it is. Perfect example for the topic we're probably gonna get into soon. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, has a tomato meter of 59%. Not good. Audience score, 85%. That is a perfect example right there.
hmm, makes sense. So
And all
you
that stuff.
follow the audience score.
I don't follow the thing at all. in my thing of it, I don't deal with it at all. And all that stuff.
Okay. Moving on to the next topic. Disney and Marvel
I love
are
the fact.
fighting for their rights
Yep, I
to
can't believe.
part.
Yep, I had a feeling he was gonna do that. He totally didn't go. I was like, this is what's gonna happen. Either he's gonna be talking about Venom, or he straight up just go back to the Marvel thing because it's not go in order
Yep,
whatsoever.
because I follow the blueprint. Okay, Marvel, as in Marvelous, is the full name. Uh, files 5 lawsuits as of Friday, seeking to block heirs of comic book creators from reclaiming pocket what copyrights of its most popular characters, including Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, and Doctor Strange. Ricky, your thoughts?
Okay, so to clarify on what Manny said when he said Marvel filed 5 lawsuits on Friday, meaning Friday, September 24th, not past Friday.
That's correct. Yep.
Just want to clear that one up. Excuse me for coughing. Um,
I didn't hear you cough, but thank you. You're welcome.
um, this is not surprising to see, but at the same time, it's gonna be interesting of where this goes. Because save the fact that this goes all wrong, what's gonna happen? I don't know the full terms of what could happen if, let's the say if the because it is Marvel soon, the family of certain of who originally created these characters stuff. Um, say the families do end up winning this out, like what's gonna happen there? That's what I'm more kind of interested in is than in more of the fact of how everybody else is like panicking and screaming of like, oh, we will no longer have Marvel movies and all that stuff. Um, I'm more interested in seeing of if somehow the families can win this, or if they somehow come out with some kind of settlement and everything. Because like also Marvel related, but I didn't put it in here. Disney uh and Scarlett Johansson settled their lawsuit that happened with the whole Black Widow thing and all that stuff.
Right.
That occurred last week and everything, which is good and all that stuff. That's good to hear and
It
everything like
is.
that. That stuff. This is so messy, and I don't mean that like as in like he said she said kind of stuff. This is more of like from what I understand, apparently the the original creators of these characters um they don't apparently they do get like some kind of like uh what's the word incentive for the movies and all that stuff, but it's not big in a way and
Not
all that
what it
stuff.
should be.
Huh?
It's not what it should be.
It's not what it should be. There we go. Yeah. And what they and how they see it and all that stuff because of course the MCU's buttload of tons of money and all that stuff. Um what was it? So uh, there was something in this article particularly about how or and it was like how the fact of though these are people that create these characters, they were never gained access for the rights and all that stuff of keeping them. It was always going to belong to the Marvel, okay, and everything like that,
Right.
and all that stuff. And so now Marvel owned by Disney and all that stuff. Disney now claims those rights to those characters and all that stuff and the IP and everything. But then there's like other things about certain characters because like there's more newer characters that are in the MCU, such as like Winter Soldier, for instance. He is more recent. Like he was created like in 2000 something, I want to say correctly. and all that stuff. So it's like they're coming to that point of time. It's like and all that stuff. So it's like it's again, like I said, um, it's gonna be it's there's probably a chance of this going Marvel slash Disney way and all that stuff. But I'm just more interested in seeing uh if the other side wins, where that goes and what. The, people have already said like Marvel could lose all their can no longer make movies. We don't know that for sure. We don't even know how long this lawsuits like this kind of stuff takes so long to do. All that stuff. What what was it? Scarlett's thing started July, I want to say,
Roughly, yeah.
or no, it was like what a little bit after the movie came out. I want to say, which was in
Yeah, it was about like a
May,
month, I think, after the movie came out.
May or June. We're in September. It was
Yeah,
that thing was done. That thing got settled in September. So it's like 3 4 months right there. Something like this right here, where it's Marvel overall, and then I think it's like one or like 4 to 5 families based off like the heirs of these original creators, such as like Jack Kirby, Jerry Siegel, to name a few, all that stuff. Something like this could take and all that stuff, and this is just more of the actual IP, the original IP itself. This isn't something that was happening between Scarlett Johansson.
right.
Oh, that's you. Um,
Oh, no, no.
so it's again, it's like it's is it something to pay attention to? Most likely, of course. Like we don't know what's gonna happen. Like, and honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I don't know if like I don't even know if Disney losing this does end up won't be able to make movies. It just changes probably things and all that stuff.
They'll probably like have to pay a royalty of some kind or
Is
something.
is there like probably is there's gonna be some like royalties they got to pay in order to just keep making the movies? Maybe now, and if that happens, maybe I don't know. That's why it's like I rather just wait this out and see where this goes instead of just jumping to the conclusions of what could happen if they don't and all that stuff. I mean, is do the families of these of the original creators, do they deserve it? I mean, yeah, but it's like create I owning IP content now is totally different than it was back then though, and all that stuff
Yeah,
and everything. It's like and all that stuff. Like people are more worried about owning their own content that they create and all that stuff because they know of what kind of value it can bring depending on what can it or what it be and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean the families have every right to do this and all that stuff. Like of course, and if Disney and then of course Marvel and Disney have the right on their end and all that stuff since they are the owners, Disney particularly
yeah,
and all that stuff. Like I can't like and all that stuff. It's just like I don't like that business side of particularly like this kind of stuff is like way out of my reach and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like because there's people like me that see this stuff and would most likely probably freak out or be pissed off or something like that. And in all honesty, we should just wait and see what happens and all that stuff
yeah.
and
No,
figure.
nothing seems like it seems like nothing bad can really come other than like them having to pay royalties.
Yeah, it's like and all that stuff. It's like do we and is I mean the possibility of no longer seeing Marvel movies, I honestly don't know about that. I really don't know because I don't know what could come out of this and all that stuff at the end of the day. But it's just like right now we just wait for it and see where it goes from here.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, moving on from one Marvel topic to another Marvel topic. As Ricky stated earlier,
Oh,
we both seen the Venom too. Uh, Let There Be Carnage. Starring Tom Eddie Brock and Woody Harrelson. Uh, Tom
Tom
Hardy.
Hardy.
Tom Hardy. There we go. I got it. I got it. Tom Hardy. and Woody Harrelson, um, aka the guy from Zombieland, and many more awesome movies. Um,
Cheers.
huh?
Sorry, I'm thinking of something else.
I was like, what? So was the movie better than Venom 1? I think we can both say yes.
No.
Really? I thought this movie was definitely better than Venom 1. So you think Venom 1 was a better
Oh yeah.
movie
He
overall?
wasn't. He wasn't. Cheers. Okay, cool. Sorry. You saying?
So I'm not gonna really go into the aspects of the movie, but I thought it was good. I thought it was a decent movie. I mean, is it Dark Phoenix? No. Is it Endgame? Definitely not. Uh,
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. What are you saying between those between Dark Phoenix and this?
well, I said it's not Dark Phoenix, but it's
As
definitely not Endgame.
so wait, it's not bad as
It's
Dark
not as bad
Phoenix.
as Dark Phoenix because
Okay.
Dark Phoenix was dog water.
Okay.
Uh, but it's not amazing as Endgame. You know what I mean?
Well, you can't.
Um,
You literally can't compare this to Endgame. Honesty.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't compare them to Dark Phoenix nor Endgame. Like it's like kind of in the middle, but it's not as bad or as good as the others. Um, as the overall experience factor of it, not necessarily tying it into other movies and stuff like that and other characters, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Speaking of that, no, excuse me, a lot of water today. Um, so I saw it. What was it? Day before you did, right, Ricky?
You saw it Friday. I saw it Sunday.
Okay, yeah. So I saw it the day before Ricky did. Not opening day because I forgot when it came out,
That
so I
Friday.
didn't see it on opening day.
That Friday.
No, I'm saying. Oh, I thought. Yeah, but if I knew it came out Friday, I would have watched it Thursday. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
I
Um.
guess. You know, so
Well, yeah, because I would have saw it. I wanted to see it, so I would have saw it the that midnight thing. Um, is what I'm saying. That's why. Cool. Uh, I enjoyed it. Like I said. Um, I recommend it. I would recommend going and giving it a watch. For a lot of different reasons. Mainly the end credit. Mainly because there's a lot to talk about. So without further ado, Ricky, if you don't have anything else to say, we'll go ahead and talk about that.
don't watch this in theaters. You can literally. I'll be honest. I'll be honest about two things. One, I already saw the post credit scene before I saw the movie and all that stuff. Um, it doesn't. I don't. Though the end credit scene is a big deal and all that stuff. If you somehow end up finding it on TikTok, because that's where I mostly find it,
I think
you
it's on
just
the YouTube as well. What was it? Was that speaking of TikTok?
I don't know
I think
how my
TikTok just
iPad.
started.
I don't know how somehow YouTube on my iPad just decided to start playing after I was not, even though I paused it like before we started. It was so weird. Um. Uh. I don't think here's the thing. What I say. I saw Venom because I rewatched the first Venom before I saw the second one. Also, I was literally I when I watched that at the second time, though I don't enjoy it as much. Like I didn't enjoy it like the same time I saw it the first time. Like it has its aspects and certain things. Um, it was not as much. It wasn't as bad as much as when I got after watching the second. Then until I saw the second one. Um, I will. I can say Eddie and Venom. That's like that's bright spot. I enjoy that character dynamic and all that stuff between them. Everything else, most not mostly everything, but everything else, how it was just like, what? First of all, here's the one thing: the fact that this movie was an hour and 30 to 40 something minutes should have been a warning for me when I saw that. When I first saw that. Second of all, the fact that it was that short felt so went by so quick for me and all that
Yeah, it
stuff
did go pretty fast.
and all that stuff. Like I don't feel like everything got fleshed out the way it should have and everything. Um Characters and the certain characters that are in this movie felt out of place and all that stuff based on certain things. Like it didn't even spoilers for also before I go into this part, it didn't even dawn on me for the fact that the detective, I forget his name already, happened to be the guy
Mulligan.
Mulligan. Mulligan happened to be the same guy that shot Shriek in the beginning of the film. Oh, that was the one other thing. That whole beginning scene. What?
A little weird.
I
Yeah, that
was.
was a little weird.
It was like because like the thing was, it was like it gets into this horror aspect, not bad, not which is not a
Yeah.
bad thing, and all that stuff. But then like it switches over to the buddy cop stuff with between Venom and Eddie, sort of. Did it? I don't remember. See, that's how bad I know. But at the same time, though, it doesn't even feel like that when you see the trailers because it doesn't even feel like you don't. Because I don't. When I watch the trailers, I don't know what I'm getting out of this and all that stuff. Are you trying to go more of the darker horror route? Are you trying to still stick with the whole buddy cop relationship between the two and everything like that? It was all over the place as much as it was in this movie. Um, Having Anne back, I thought would probably be better. Would probably make this? No, it didn't. Unfortunately, um, Dan, the boyfriend, now fiance, depending on how everything went, uh, he was more he was how can I say this? He was more he felt more needed, not needed, but more what's the word I'm looking for? More situated in in the scenes in the first movie than he did in this one and all that stuff. Like he felt more who am I kidding? He felt more bitchy in a way.
Developed.
No,
Oh,
not at all. Not in this first. Not in the second one. The first one, he felt somewhat started to develop in a way, and all that stuff and everything. The second one, no, not at all. And I was what else was there? It didn't dawn on me until I saw like a recap on the movie, and it kind of made sense. The fact that Carnage is dating a meta. I'm just gonna call them metas, in general, and all that stuff. That screams to the frequency of where his a symbiote can die to a point or just leave its host is the most strangest thing I thought of. Was the strangest thing to see and all that stuff. Like literally like and then like literally like how that ending went where it's like Carnage is like pretty much like betraying Shrieking away and all that stuff like and is more trying to like worry about his own thing and all that stuff. You would think for the fact of Shriek being more maybe somewhat human way, I guess you can say. And somewhat switch sides in order to help um Cassidy and all that stuff to get out of it.
yeah.
That
Right.
that didn't happen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It showed it looked like it could have, but that didn't end up happening. Um
Right.
and all that stuff. What else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, the whole yeah, the way of everything coming together to where we get to that point at the end of the movie, not the credit scene, didn't feel like there was a payoff to it to get to that point and all that stuff. Like I don't see it's like we get pretty much one fight scene in this whole movie and all that stuff. Like, there's no like the time was like when they like introduce each other and all that stuff. Venom and Eddie are not even together and all that stuff
Yeah,
and everything. Like that stuff was like that should have been more of like when Carnage gets introduced and all that stuff, and then they split apart to come back together and then fight and all that. That should have been like something I don't know way. I don't know what it would have worked.
right,
It could go either way, but that's something like it worked. But the fact that it's like they've split, Carnage comes together, Carnage comes and all that stuff, and then they're still being uh assholes to each other and all that stuff when something important happens. But it works in a way of because of Anne in almost sense, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if that was necessary to do. Um, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it was just like I understand why in my theater, I think I saw like maybe a total of 6 people left the theater early, and it's like I was just because I was watching that movie and I'm just like I don't what were they thinking and all that stuff. Like where does this go? Like where do you put this and all that stuff and everything and how why would you put this scenario into this and everything like that? Uh, I kind of think making Carnage the next villain for this sequel was probably an idea at the end of the day. Um, and it's not that, and it's not that it's like it would have been a good. He could have been fine as like something in the background to build up for a possible third movie, and probably find someone else. I don't know, um, and everything. But I just felt like having him and how he gets to the point of to become of a cast that becomes Carnage just felt like no, I don't think this works at all. Like I said, it's like you introduce him in the credit scene of the first one, fine. You probably have him in the second one, but more somewhat in the background. He is, I think, the whole thing of Eddie and Cassidy having that conversation and all that stuff, having their conversations as more of a background plot point in the second movie would have been fine and all that stuff. And then it comes to the point of like towards the end of where we get the point of them talking and then maybe not Cassidy biting him, but something that leads to him getting the Carnage thing. But he doesn't.
yeah,
But he doesn't. He doesn't. The Carnage thing doesn't happen until the third movie though. Like it's the symbiote's within him and all that stuff, but it doesn't. It doesn't affect yet because until the next movie and all that stuff. Something like that at least and all that stuff. But other than that, it's like, should you watch this in theaters? Not really. The only reason to maybe possibly watch this in theaters is for the end credit scene, likely, and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like I said, that thing's probably already posted all over the place and everything because how big a deal it is now.
right.
What it is, movie, it came out. It,
I enjoyed it.
it's
Um,
like that's the thing though. It's like it's not that I'm trying to bash this movie. It's more the fact because I like Venom. Venom is one of my favorite characters and all that stuff. It is more of that. It's more of the I don't enjoy this because I know this could have been better and all that stuff. We don't and all that stuff like literally like because like here's the thing because I'm also one of those but like that's the thing because I am one of those people who don't because like I've talked about this about the MCU, the entire MCU, about how there are characters that don't go off the source material from the comics based off origin or anything else and how they change stuff. I wouldn't have cared. See, that's the reason why I didn't trip about really about Venom 1 in the first place when it first got announced because maybe there's a possible way you can do something make it more of a solo without the Spider-Man origin part. So far, they have not proved that after 2 movies and everything. And but I was willing to give it the chance and all that stuff. And hopefully, after this post-credit scene, maybe they'll fix it.
Right. Um. So yeah, there's our thoughts on Venom. Uh, I enjoyed it. Ricky had that. I think that's it. Do we have anything else?
Do you not want to talk about the post-credit scene?
I thought we did talk about the post credit. I thought we weren't going to spoil it.
Well, we only talked about the movie. We didn't talk about the post-credit scene. We just said about if you're gonna watch it. If you're gonna watch it for the post, I mean, the only way I said the only reason why to watch it is because of the post-credit scene. Never fully went into the post-credit scene itself.
All right, we're going to talk about post credit scene. Um, what's your thoughts on the post credit scene, Ricky? I thought they were really cool. I thought it was really cool. Um, thought the way they did it is interesting. Um, ready to see what's going to happen and how they're going to do this exactly. But I'm excited overall. Um, I'm excited. Wait, are we spoiling? We're not spoiling it, right? Are we spoiling it?
I mean, people should know it by now. In all honesty,
Okay, so basically, Venom's joining the MCU.
I mean, we're talking about the
Um,
post-credit scene. This is gonna be a spoiler no matter what.
yeah, that's true. Okay, so basically, for those who don't know or those who don't really care uh, enough to watch it, I guess, or look it up on TikTok, Venom's joining the MCU officially um, via a beach house. Uh, in I don't know where they are. Where were they supposed to be? Were they supposed to be like in Frisco still, or were they like
No,
somewhere else?
they were somewhere else. They were no longer. They were in a different country. And all that stuff. They left Frisco at the end of the movie.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, they're not even.
So
Well,
they're in
in all honesty, I mean, after the where they at, I don't even think they're in the same island. They're probably just somewhere else.
yeah. So I mean, they're somewhere in this world. And they get this weird you get this weird looking thing happening, and Venom's like, it's not me. And then the TV comes on, and it's J. Jonah Jameson from the final Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man movie, Tom Holland. Then I mean not Tom Holland. Tom Holland appears on the screen, and for some reason Venom licks it. Don't know why, but he licks the screen really creepily. Then that's it, basically. Um, I thought it was weird the way it was done. I thought it could have been done a lot better, but it's still exciting to me
What made it
because I
weird?
mean how he kind of licks the screen and like how he it's a weird timing how it's like, oh, I can show you something, and then this happens, like, you know what I mean. I feel like it was the setup made it look like Venom was gonna do it, was the one doing it, but it wasn't, from what we've heard, from what's going on. uh so that's basically that. uh but overall, I'm excited for the future of what they're gonna do with him. Hopefully, he, in a weird way, hopefully he's not in Spider-Man No Way Home. Hopefully, they take their time with them to make sure they get them done right. And I don't want them to. I don't really want them to put too many characters in the new Spider-Man movie coming up because I don't know. I don't know. Any thoughts, Ricky?
This is coming from the guy who literally predicted where we're at right now with Spider-Man about having all these damn villains, and he doesn't want one more in there.
Well, because I'm scared that they're gonna like mess up a bunch. I don't want them to mess up.
I mean, in all honesty, here's the thing: the 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 post credit scene literally almost confirms almost everything that we've talked that's talked about this movie, particularly No Way Home. Um, it's most likely for the fact because the scene of when it shifts over, when it changes the universe, it wasn't Venom's doing. It was more the fact of what happened in No Way Home. Um, if you remember from the trailer of when Parker decides to like screw up the spell Strange was doing. So that like lows and tails to the fact of how Eddie and Venom ends up in this back into the MCU for when it shows and all that stuff. So that's one thing right there of where how that could happen. Second thing, the fact of Venom, the thing about Venom when he talks to Eddie on before the whole universe shift change and all that stuff, he talks about how a hive mind of symbiotes and everything like that have this are connected to this thing, not just within the world itself, there but other many other dimensions, universes, and all that stuff. So the one thing that I got an idea from it, confirming pretty much mostly stuff, not kind of confirming, but not officially confirmed. Um, it's most likely Ock, Goblin, for sure that we know from the trailer part most likely are from the other Spider-Man universes. It does bring to the fact of there's most like probably hopefully most likely that we're gonna see Toby and Garfield in the No Way Home. And if you have to know why, and the fact of Venom being so drawn to Spider-Man, it is most likely of the fact of that hive mind and all that stuff, as he mentions other dimensions and universes he knows of Spider-Man from the Raimi films because there was Venom in that one and all and everything. So that's like the I don't want to call it far fetched because it kind of makes sense in a way and all that stuff of why Venom was so drawn to Spider-Man and all that stuff and everything. And I'll be on and the one thing I see about it is like there's a possible chance we'll probably see him in No Way Home, but I don't think it's gonna. I think it's probably be more of post mid credit scene kind of thing and all that stuff, or maybe a small scene within the movie that doesn't that's just more of like hinting and everything of what could happen there. And then and it like two things can come out of this. Either this officially does officially have Eddie's this Venom as the MCU. It does may change some things for him of and all that stuff. Uh, or depending on like this is more behind the scenes kind of things with the whole deal between Sony and Disney on having Spider-Man part of the MCU and all that stuff. Like say the fact of come end of Strange because that's the one that was where it's because it's called the Multiverse of Madness. Say the end of that. Say of like they fix everything, but it ends up that Parker ends up in its own universe with Venom and all that stuff and no longer part of the MCU because of the like say of the fact of Sony and Disney can't come to an agreement of keeping it all together and all that stuff.
Right.
That's the possibility of that other option happening. Or like I said, it is more the fact of now that Venom is now part of the MCU and all that stuff and everything. Because we also have to know there's also one more thing we haven't people probably have but I haven't talked enough about it. We still have another Spider-Man related film Sony film that's coming out hopefully and in Morbius and all that stuff. And if you remember in that very first trailer and all that stuff before the pandemic hit and everything like that, the Vulture was in that trailer and all that stuff. And we don't know how, why that came a thing and all that stuff, and how that could relate to now and everything too, and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's interesting to see. Like the one thing that sucks about this post credit scene that is the fact that it came after events of so much. I don't want to say I don't want to call it disappointment, but more of like we just went through a lot of hoopla and don't know what the heck is happening and all that stuff, or it's like a lot of stuff that just made no sense, and then all of a sudden like this happens and everything. Uh, I mean, does that mean Feige and the Marvel Studios team are gonna have ideas what to do with this Venom? I hope so, and everything. And I don't mind him being in No Way Home, but I wouldn't be surprised. Because like I won't be surprised if he does end up being in there, but it'll probably just be more of small scene, nothing big, and all that stuff, or even being part of like a post credit, mid credit scene, and all that stuff and everything. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Now I actually do have a question. Do you think Venom will ever don the white Spidey logo?
I mean, it's possible. I'm not gonna say he should or shouldn't, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it can be possible. I think because, like I said, if it's more the fact of like the way he is drawn to hit to Spider Man is for the fact of this hive mind and how it is. He says he knows so many things, not just within where they're at now, but many universes beyond that, like other ones. Like it can be possible for the fact of like that Venom knows about Tobey Maguire and all that stuff. That Spider Man because it's from a different universe and all that stuff. And then I don't know of what could like. I think like it could lead to like a possible third one set in the MCU and changing him like them two finally being something better. And then I don't know if Peter will be a help of that or what could happen, where that leads to, where and he ends up donning the logo and everything. But I don't know. We'll see. I have because that's the thing. Like I have no like the current how he looks now is like I actually have no issue with that. All that stuff.
Right.
You know, like, it's all about. We'll see what happens. Hmm. See where it goes. I have no big deal with. I have, right now. I have no issue with it. You know, I like that post
Yeah.
credit scene. It's like it happened. We have to deal with it and all that stuff. And then just gotta see where it goes. Because, like I said, I do like this Venom and Eddie and all that stuff. I feel like they push it too much and all that stuff because I don't feel like because the one thing about Eddie, like the back going back to the movie, it's like it shows about how it looks like how Venom makes Eddie look so stupid about things when it comes to finding stuff, like how that scene in about them finding all the bodies that Cassidy killed and all that stuff, and that was because Venom had to like force Eddie to do it and all that stuff. Like in the comics, like Eddie's not like that. He is a good journalist and all that stuff, but a good investigative journalist at that and all that stuff. Like he could have like they don't as much as I say I'm that person that doesn't care about changing people's things from comics to movies. That right there is something like why do you have to make that change to make him look more stupid and all that stuff than what you're showing and all that stuff because that should have never been something of like oh Eddie should have never known about that or never been able to figure that out like no he should have and all that stuff like literally that movie didn't shows Eddie as a more kind of a dumber person than as a smart person and all that stuff and that's what kind of upsets me about it a bit like he has his moment like he has his smart moments don't get me wrong and all that stuff he has it sometimes but it's just the way it portrays it of like no he's this idiot in a way of like he and all that stuff. And he shows it like more like I don't want to say that word, not the right proper word to say. But other than that, that's yeah.
As as in, what do you mean by that?
The word that you said one time by accident.
Oh, okay.
He's not that,
No,
but it
but I
shows
understand
it.
what you mean though.
It
I
shows it
understand what you mean though.
sometimes. It shows it like that, and it shouldn't. Because like in all honesty, it's like it doesn't show. He's not something. Even in the movies, it doesn't show him like of some kind of mental condition that he has or anything. Sleepless nights and all.
That's more because of insomnia.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just
Yeah.
and like I said, but also, but it's like I hope with him in the MCU, they'll probably like change his and make it.
Yeah, I think Feige will do some, make them maybe more I guess you would say accurate, right? Guess that's what you would say.
I think like so, okay, the dynamic between them right now is fine, minus the whole angry couple yelling at each other kind of stuff. That like that's a little too much right there at times. But I mean, just for Eddie as a person, that needs a little more. That needs some more.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. I get that.
Like
I get that.
like there's times he is paranoid about things at times. That's true, but it's not he's not that paranoid or stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when he goes to the prison that first time when he's like spazzing out.
Yeah,
I get that. I get
yeah,
you.
that whole like literally like that whole time he's talking to himself like that doesn't need that
Yeah.
and all stuff
I
like
feel
of
like they'd
course
be able to communicate mentally.
true. Um, or it's like it doesn't even need to like show that as much because
Yeah.
they showed that a lot, and and it's like the funny part about it. It's like the times when he has to hide it to people that already know. Like with Mrs. Chen, like he hides it. Like of course he knows she
Yeah, it's
should
a little weird.
like she knows she's talking to him and all that stuff. But like the part when like the part of like when he says like you don't have to eat Mrs. Chen and all that stuff. It is she what? I'm like she made it sound like it looks like she doesn't know she's talking to himself and all. I'm like oh you know he's talking to him.
No, I didn't catch it like that. The way I took it was he said, "What about me?" You know what I mean? I didn't
So,
catch it that she didn't know who he was talking, that he wasn't talking to himself.
no, I mean like she knows, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying like she knows that she's talking to him, but at the same time, it looks like she doesn't at the same
Well, because she can't hear him.
and all that stuff. And that's what I'm saying. Well, not that, but I mean like I'm just saying it's like don't be surprised if you know he's talking to her, but it's just something she shows it off sometimes from what I see. I look at it for the fact that it's like she knows, but at the same time, it's like she doesn't know for sure. She I don't know. It's just weird.
So, with all that being said, Venom's officially in the MCU. Um, or officially? Yeah, I'd say officially.
I don't know. We'll see.
And we got a lot to see going ahead in the future, and a lot more things to think about in the future for future installments of Spider-Man based movies. So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be real crazy. It's gonna be interesting though. So that's our video for this week. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We hope you guys uh didn't miss us too much last week, but you know, things happened and life. But so we're sorry we missed last week, but we're gonna try to be more consistent with our videos, um, and try to well yeah, because we're being a little inconsistent.
We are consistent.
Uh,
We just missed 1 week because of something. That's it.
yeah, that's true. Well, we should be here next week. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys had a good time. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and let all your buddies know about us. Really helps the channel. That's this episode. Deuces.